Oh, hi. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Just Gaming Tings.
Hi.
Here we are, newly affiliated on Twitch.tv.
We show
Congratulations to
is
us.
girly. Yes,
Round
we
of
did that.
applause. Yes, we did that. We did that.
Yes, yes.
Honestly, a round of applause on a podcast does sound very questionable, and I just kind of thought about it as we were doing it. I was like, oh, if someone was just listening to this, it definitely sounds like there's something else going on. And
This just means that they should be watching the video version of the podcast.
maybe so. Maybe that's an incentive.
You get to see our
Catching
cute
us
faces.
live every Saturday.
No
Yeah,
sound gets misconstrued.
exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Although the thing about the video version is that our words definitely get misconstrued often because of our automated captions. So there's also that. We
Hmm.
also have that
CC
going
is
on.
confused.
Miss
CC is
I mean,
CC
confused
is,
sometimes.
yeah,
that's extra content, though.
it
Truly.
is. It
Right.
Take
is.
screen caps of us with like ridiculous stuff under them in the
Spin is
captions.
correct. Spin is correct.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like that one screenshot of me where I'm just saying, "That's awesome." Like I love game.
I love
I
that
do love that. I do love
so
that.
much.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I do love game.
I do. You know what? I do.
You're
You're
like, it's
Why
not
we're here.
wrong. I do
right.
love game.
I do
Same
love
here.
game.
Love them a lot.
Who are we? We haven't introduced ourselves. Hi, I'm Ruby. Pronouns he, they.
Hi.
Hello. Hi,
Hi,
him.
I'm Jam. Pronouns he, him. You can call me they, them as well. So those also work for me.
Yeah. Hi, Koga.
Hello. Well, as you already said, I'm Koga Jangles. Go by he, him.
Hi, Spin.
Hello. Also him.
Look at us go. Wow.
The
Beautiful.
chaotic energy in this room.
I know. Ever since we went casual, we've just been so chaotic in the best way
Yes.
And we love to
possible.
see it.
The
Right.
chaos is more fun, though.
It is.
Exactly.
And if it's more fun for us, it's going to be more fun for the people watching/listening every week, right?
Truly. Truly.
I'm just saying.
We love to see it as I sip my coffee.
As I sip my water, I've been waking up at a decent
Confused.
time these days. So, like, my coffee has long gone.
It's late for you though. Like it's late to be having coffee.
Oh, yeah, but that hasn't stopped
I say
me.
that as a person who will drink coffee at midnight, honestly.
It's never
never
a
too
bad
late
time
for
to have a
coffee.
coffee again.
Well, there's often bad times to get coffee, and sometimes you do tackle them, and sometimes we have to yell at you for it. But that's another story for another day, because we're talking about games on this day, and a lot happened this week, turns out. Um, so as per usual, each of us is gonna like take a little, moment to highlight something that we want to bring up and discuss and such. One of the bigger things was the Square Enix Presents, which is actually one of the things that I wanted to bring up, because I was initially I didn't have a lot of expectations for it because I was like, I don't know what to expect from Life is Strange. I don't know what to expect from the Tomb Raider anniversary stuff because I just wasn't. I was like,
Right.
they're not gonna really do anything that great because like if a new game, like if a new like big deal Tomb Raider game was coming out, it would have already been announced way before this week. Unless they just fully worked on it the entire time and they were like, hey, the game is coming this year. And we would have been like, hello, hi, that was the new approach. But that's
Right.
usually not how they go about it. But the thing that I was the most impressed by and the thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that Square Enix really said, hi, we have two women of color as main protagonists for our two upcoming games. And I said yes. So I think you can make the character queer in Life is Strange True Colors, because they did say that you could. They gave us basically like a male option and a female option for friends who could potentially be a romantic interest too. So I was very interested in that. Also in the perspective of like if you don't want to be romantic with either of them, is that going to be also an option for people who are aromantic, for them to have that represented in their game?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think that would be really cool. And also to kind of portray that you can have platonic relationships with people that don't, end up with romance or anything of the sort. So I think that could be really cool. I know that game is going to make me ugly cry based on the description that they briefly mentioned about like long lost brothers or siblings, I guess, from like that came out of the foster system, and then one of them dies, and it's basically the story of you finding out what the fuck happened. And it's just like, oh wow, this game is gonna make me ugly cry. And the bigger thing for it too is that the entire game is coming out in one day, like the same day everything is coming out, which is a very interesting approach, because
that's very different for them.
I love it.
Yeah,
I don't like to wait.
It's basically like the Netflix approach, right? Because they probably looked at it and they were like, yeah, people like to have the option to either binge all the episodes in one sitting, or to space them out and play them throughout several weeks or throughout a couple days, like whatever they want to do. And so I really like that, because we talk about this all the time. Giving people options is a really big deal. For multiple reasons, because some people can't sit in front of their computer for a long period of time and experience all the episodes. But that doesn't mean that if someone can, or if someone is willing to, that they shouldn't have that as an option, right? Especially in the age of spoilers, where everybody, like, the second something comes out, you have to avoid the internet at all costs, or else there's going to be an asshole that spoils everything for you. And they're like, what? The game came out an hour ago. And you're like, the game is, how do you know all of the things? The game came out an hour ago. Like, were you like speed running it to get as much like cutscenes as possible? Like, what's going on here?
It's crazy how fast people get info from games. I'm like, it's been out for 5 minutes. Please give me a chance to purchase it, maybe.
All right, you have 24 hours, but after that, fair game.
Oh, so
they're not very merciful about that.
It's
Oh, we know.
People do that with shows. It's like, oh, it's been a day, and you're like, oh, and you didn't think that the rest of us would be like, working or in a different time zone or doing something else with our day. Like, oh, you just assumed that
sleeping, taking naps.
Right. You just assumed that everyone was there.
Naps.
Yeah. I mean, valid. Listen.
Naps are important. That's self-care. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I can't schedule my whole existence around something coming out to avoid spoilers.
Imagine that. I used to do that all the time with Drag Race. When I used to watch it, I used to just okay, the show is coming out today at 2 a.m. or something. So after midnight, let me not go on Twitter or anywhere online. Let me just keep to myself and avoid spoilers at all costs. And then tomorrow, when the episode comes out for me, tomorrow morning, I'll watch it before I go on social media. And God forbid I forget about it and I scroll through Twitter. It was always a journey. But it's also when your job kind of requires you to be on social media often, you're like, I don't want to not be on social media for several hours to avoid one thing. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a big highlight for me. Project Athia, or now revealed to have an actual name called Forspoken, was very, very interesting. I was actually shook at how the character looks exactly like the actress playing her, and how we have a black female protagonist. I was like, yes, please. Especially by the team that worked on Final Fantasy 15. They broke off and they made their own team to work on what it looks like an action RPG. So I'm super, super excited for both of those. There's not much information about Forspoken, but those were kind of my highlights from that. And so I wanted to ask y'all, are you interested in what games are you interested, or what things are you interested from that Square Enix presentation? Did anything jump out to you specifically? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things that definitely jumped out to me, but I know this is going to kind of sound weird, especially considering all the other things that that were announced, but like I got like really excited by the Space Invaders AR mobile game.
I
know,
mean,
like, it's a mobile game,
yeah,
but like
nothing wrong with that.
Space Invaders AR. Like, I'm just picturing like you just going around like with your phone and just like zapping little guys
Pew, pew, pew,
like
pew.
everywhere.
Right?
Like that just sounds fun. Like I'm just like sitting in the living room at the doctor's office, like pew pew pew.
In the wall, like it's projected onto the wall in your own perspective, and you're like, yes, I love that.
I love that.
Like I was so disappointed when I started playing Pokemon Go and my phone didn't have like AR things. So I was like, oh, I just wanted to see like where this Pokemon like spawned and like, you know, like that's all I wanted. And I was so disappointed. But anyway, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think my phone didn't really work with it well either.
Did you have an Android at the time?
I did.
Because I think Androids at the time didn't have the proper tools for it. Oh, did you?
Well, yeah, mine did. I just didn't use it as much because it would drain your battery.
Phone was a flop.
Yeah, literally like 10 seconds. Pokemon Go, battery's dead. Oops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Go literally destroyed phones. Like no matter what phone you had, it was just like, oh, I'm going to use your location and your screen constantly because you'll never put it down.
Right.
Yeah, so I just turned the AR off because it will just take up even more battery than needed. So like,
okay, I had a sudden realization that is entirely off topic. Maybe that's why my phone exploded in my pocket around that time.
Too much
happened. That could be it. Too many things. You're doing too much. You know what happens when you do too much.
Pokemon Go came out in 2016. I was playing it nonstop, throughout the latter half of that year. Early 2017, my phone explodes in my pocket.
And you probably had the app open in the background because you wanted to hatch some eggs. I think it.
We found it. We solved it.
I'm not saying Pokemon Go caused it, but
I am. Maybe. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying it didn't cause it.
But so hopefully the Space Invaders AR game does not explode my phone, because I don't want that to happen again, because that was very scary.
That was your highlight. I was very like in a negative note. I was disappointed because what I was expecting was, because they said that we were gonna have Taito news, and I was like, okay, Bubble Bobble on mobile.
Right.
They did Bubble Bobble, like the one that I know, like where it's basically like a match 3 kind of thing. Like you shoot the bubbles and you have to like match them with other colors and stuff. That's going to be like a Toho like crossover situation. And then they're going to have the classic Bubble Bobble, which is like completely different from the one that I played in a little arcade cabinet that we had in a coffee shop near me. And it's definitely not what I was expecting or wanting. Am I probably going to give it a try? Maybe so, because it looks super cute. But I was very like, oh, so the mobile game is going to be Space Invaders and not Bubble Bobble. Interesting.
Can't say I'm not excited. I do like Space Invaders, so it's kind of iconic.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get Bubble Bobble in the future.
Bubble Bobble AR?
Here's the thing, if we make the Space Invaders a moment, Bubble Bobble will be the next one.
True.
Maybe so.
Depends on how they try to monetize this thing.
Oh, they're gonna figure it out.
Oh, it's gonna
and they're gonna make tons of money from it.
Yeah, I'm already assuming they're gonna do like ads every match. Like between every match, you're gonna get an ad, or like you're gonna there's gonna be like an energy system where you have to either pay for like to play more back to back, or you're gonna have to wait for a cooldown kind of thing. Like or
watch a video to get it faster.
Yeah, watch an ad to get another spark or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love that. We're like,
you're out of ammo.
Right.
Watch an ad to get more ammo.
Oh, that's probably what they're gonna call it.
Watch this ad and get unlimited ammo for the next 30 minutes.
Right.
Like,
or you can pay $2 for 10. Well, it's probably not going to be that bad, but I definitely expect them to see some. Yeah, you can pay the certain amount to do that.
Do y'all usually fall for the microtransaction traps that those games kind of do to you?
Oh, I do. I fall for them.
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I play Dokkan. That's a trap. All
He's like, literally, this is my life.
It's a gotcha game, and you get got every banner.
Oh.
Oh, I'm screaming. That's so funny.
What about y'all? What games do y'all indulge in or have indulged in as far as those microtransactions? The only one that got me was Pokemon Go. Because like I never like if the game is free to play, there's a spiteful part of my soul that is like the game is free, therefore I'm not paying any money for it. I'm just committing to it. I'm not gonna fall for any of the traps. And out of
they said free to play.
Exactly, they said free to play, and so it's gonna be free to play whether I like it or not. But you know how like when you do certain achievements in Pokemon Go and like you get like an encounter with a legendary, I didn't know that you could redo them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, I'm out of Pokeballs. And so I purchased like a tiny like pack. It was like $1 or something. I was like, let me just get like the minimum Pokeballs. And then I ended up getting it. And then I learned later that you could redo those battles indeed. And I didn't need to do that. But it was worth it. I had Pokeballs for days because I wasn't used to having like extra ones. So I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about
living your best life with all the Pokeballs?
Right.
I will admit, Pokemon Cafe Mix got me when it first came out.
I love that game. It's so cute.
The little Pikachu and the little apron was really cute, and I had to get it.
That's valid.
So I got the little Pikachu pack.
Listen, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. What about you, GM? What game got you?
It's probably I can't even think of it, but it's any of the crazy freaking like match 3 games. It's like, oh, you have 3, and it's like you're out of lives, and I'm like, okay.
Am I though?
Am I though? I've got some change. I can make it work.
Oh my god, those games! I remember like rage uninstalling the Sailor Moon one because sometimes they build those levels in a way where it's impossible for you to beat them without using any power ups.
Yeah,
and I just had run out of power ups, and I tried that level so many times, and I was like, "This is fucking impossible. I hate it." And then I just uninstalled them. I never looked back. So
yeah, mine were
I have
mostly
rage
just gotcha
uninstalled
itch games.
so much.
Right.
Like
yeah,
I got played Pokemon Go like a bit when it came out, and then of course there's Dokkan, and then also Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which I mean it's free to play, but it's also PvP. So I mean, you go online, people spent money, and then there's Teppen, which is another card game, and again PvP online. So people didn't spend money.
Yeah, that's a journey. But back to Square Enix. What was y'all's highlights from that presentation? I almost forgot that's how we all started.
That's what we started. I would have to say it's probably Project Athia or Forspoken, because I think that one just looks really cool. I'm always excited for like a new Life is Strange, because they just have interesting stories, I think, and that's the thing that I like about those. One thing that I'm slightly disappointed in, because I actually played the little demo of it this morning, is Outriders. Or I didn't play it, but I was playing it with my boyfriend, and it was, the character creator is awful. Because they lock they lock certain facial features to skin color.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Not good. And then the lighting is really weird. So if the character has darker skin, when you're like panning in the game, like if they have dark skin, you can't see their facial features very well.
Oh.
So there's that. And I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, this might be fun.
They're changing that by the full release, right?
I'm hoping so. Because like literally if you go to like you literally click, they're like, oh, they have different heads, and you click one and it's like, and it gives you 5 choices of skin color. And I thought at first like, oh, they have 5 choices, and then they're just like, and you just pick them. But like, no, as you change the heads, the skin colors change that you can pick from.
Oh.
And so you can go within like lighter shades within the darker skin tone, but like it only goes like so light or so dark, and then like you can't like select the facial features. It's literally like, here's a face, here's a face, here's a face, here's a face. So they have like an Asian face that has like very specific features and very specific skin tones. But then like the hair is all like very like general like white hairstyle. So then it's like, so you're gonna give me black facial features but no black hairstyles? I don't get it.
I hate it. Good
yeah,
thing
not
I didn't
good.
Download it. good thing I didn't. Yeah, the game is coming out in like a month, so like y'all have some work to do.
Like I think like you get like, that's one thing, like I feel like maybe you can fix that. Like you can fix your character creator, right? You can be like, okay, we can expand the skin tones. It might be like an update, but like hopefully they hear some like backlash about that, because like
right,
overall the game itself might be fun, and like at least they're giving you dark skin tones, but like, and they're giving you the facial features, but like why not a facial slider to like be like, oh, let me pick my facial features to make the person look like me, or make the person look like what I want them to look like. But it's like you're limiting it to skin tones, which is like slightly, like not even slightly, it's just like overtly racist.
Right. Yeah. And even like what you discussed about the lighting, like, hello?
Yeah, like it's clearly not created with the perspective that, oh, we're gonna have a player that's gonna pick a dark skinned character.
Right.
Like it's created around, like, well, from what you're saying, it's created around like the assumption that the player is gonna pick a light skinned character.
Right.
Like that's just messed up.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's just a little weird. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes into like how there's often conversations about how technology and people who are developing things that are technologically advanced are often not considering people of color. And so it's often the case with like filters on like Instagram or Snapchat or things like that, where it's like, oh, you were only expecting white people to use it. You know what I mean? And even with technology, it's like, oh, we developed like this lighting that reacts with the characters in certain ways. Okay, yeah, but like you didn't create it expecting anyone, again, who's not white to, like, you didn't think of making it accessible for literally any other character other than a white character, and you didn't think of developing that lighting, like it's like not really like a shader pack or something, but it's like something of the sort, or like even the engine. That's kind of where I wanted to go with, like the engine.
Yeah.
You didn't think of developing that with diverse characters in mind? Like what's going on with that?
I don't know. If you're gonna have like a character creator or something like that, it can't be that difficult to just, put more options into the game. I don't know. I haven't like kept up with the game at all. I heard about it. I heard it was coming to Game Pass day one and would have like crossplay, but that's kind of like very disappointing that they just limited it like that. And I would hope that the full release would be different. I don't have faith in that, considering how things go nowadays.
Right.
But I don't know.
The full release is soon. It's like April 1st. It's not like not even like a month away, I don't think. Like it's like a week and a half. Yeah.
That's on the Thursday.
Oh. Well.
So like I said, I hope it's something that they'll like get on, because like the thing is, like I do like Square Enix, so I don't think that, and this is the thing, like I don't think this is like, I think the subsidiary under Square Enix, People Can Fly or whatever, the developer is. Like, I don't. This is like their third game, so I'm not like thinking that they're like doing it maliciously. I just think it's like it's just lack of thought, right, and lack of
Right.
having someone looking at it when you're doing it, which like really is 2021. We need to stop having lack of thought and having lack of people looking at it, but like
Yeah.
it's still a thing. So
Yeah,
like I
for
want to give
sure.
them the benefit of the doubt. Like they're still kind of new. So
Yeah. But you would also think that I totally support the thought that like, oh, Square Enix is only publishing, but publishers do have a lot of influence on how the games get developed. Like a lot of times there's pressures from publishers of like, hey, this game is cool and all, but how are you going to monetize it? Or like, how are we going to make more
right.
money out of it? So I would think similar approaches could be done with like, hey, I know y'all are a smaller team, but also have you considered a more diverse staff? Or how's your, even like before, like why is it not normalized for like a publisher before they agree to sign a contract to publish a specific game to be like, hey, what's your staff like? Let me, let me get a look at your board, let me look at who are the directors and who are the producers. And
Yeah.
um so I think that's also like a thing, and it's hard for me to believe that out of so much play testing that is done with so many games that nobody thought of this or nobody brought this up. Like I find it very hard to believe that this could be a thing where the developers would be like, oh, we haven't heard of that issue, because that's usually not a thing. Like playtesters usually tell on social media, they're like, we usually catch all of these things, but they're usually like, we don't have time to fix everything, so
Right,
you
it
know.
comes down to the publishers, and honestly, a lot of the publishers, especially the higher ones, don't really care about these type of things.
Yeah.
It's what's going to make the most money and what's going to appeal the most and to give us the most money.
And I think this game will make them lots of money. Like, don't get me wrong. Overall, I think it's going to be a game that makes them money because of the style of game that it is. It's like, it's this exploring shooting game. Like, it's what people like to play. So,
And even their marketing of like the entire game will be available. It's not going to be a game that you'll have to keep playing for months and months and months to get added content. They're basically like, their whole marketing thing is like you're not going to get DLC, you're not going to get like, all of the content is there day one, and you just basically have to play through it, which appeals to like a great part of gamers out there who do miss that kind of stuff and miss the, like so often many games, and we love like Animal Crossing and stuff like that, but often games come out and they're like a lesser version of the previous one because now there is an expectation that content will just get added later, right? So they don't have
The Sims.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
exactly.
Yeah. And The Sims, you can even argue that it's even worse than Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing, it's been a year. Congratulations, Animal Crossing. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
And for New Horizons, of course. Animal Crossing has been around for a while. But it's been a year and they haven't charged for any updates, and I hope that's the case moving forward. So, especially if the game is going to be full price forever. So there's a difference there, because
Nintendo.
like with The Sims, you basically, it's like, oh, you want to have like laundry items? Here's a laundry pack. Here's
$20, please.
right. Yeah, they did like a pack for like recycling or something like that, where you had like plants and like recycling bins, and you're like, shouldn't this be in the main game? But regardless, that's kind of what I meant with like the Outriders thing. Like, I think that's going to be very appealing for people who want all the content there day one.
Exactly.
No updates, no patches. Well, probably a day one patch, let's be real. But, for the most part.
But here's the thing: I'll take patches, but like as long as you're not just giving me content through like, oh, you got to pay for a DLC to get content to like finish the story of the game, I'm happy with that. Like, that's the thing. It's like giving me full content of a story-based game in the main game, and then you give me extra side story stuff by saying, oh, like we can expand the world a little bit by giving you DLC. That I'm fine with, right? Like, I just don't want you to like have given me like an incomplete story and then said, okay, now to finish it, pay an extra $15 just to play and get the full game.
Or get wait a few months. Yeah. Or the real ending. Yeah.
Or the real ending. Yeah, fair.
Prince of Persia. That
we're calling them out. Dropping hints.
Girl, that reboot was I loved the visuals of it, but I was like, when I learned about like the ending, because I don't think I beat it, so I didn't know that was an issue with the ending, where people had to basically buy the DLC in order to get the actual ending, and I was like, oh, not that. But the one that reminds me of that as well is like Final Fantasy 15, where like if you buy the Royal Edition, you basically get the game that it's probably the closest version to the game that they wanted to release.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got it day one, a lot of stuff happened off camera, and so you had to pay for the DLC to see like, oh, remember when Prompto left the party? Here's what happened. Remember when I forget the name of the others. Gladio left the party, Ignis, and you're like, oh, this is what happened. This would have been so cool, and then you get to play as them and like in the actual game. And I never got to experience like playing as the other characters in the main game because by the time that I beat the game, those features came out, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna replay it. Like this is a long ass game. I'm not gonna replay it.
Yeah, that game had quite a bit of cut content. And I played it when it first came out, and I'm like, you can't switch the characters. We're doing this again, and then I just I'm gonna put it down, wait for the PC version, and it just had almost everything.
Yeah, and they had it on.
Well, it's kind of like Pokemon Sword and Shield, like Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like as much as I like love the base game, they kind of held a lot out of it, you know.
Yeah, like some of the DLC stuff, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this has been in like other games, like similar. Not obviously not all of it, but similar stuff had been like in other games, and I was like, interesting. But at least they're not doing like the only thing that I will give credit to Pokemon is that they are not doing like a third game and being like, oh, remember, like, oh, here's a third game that it's basically the same game but it has extra content. Like, I'm glad that they at least had like they had the brain cells for that, and they were like, yeah, let's not do that anymore. That doesn't make sense these days. Let's just do DLC for it.
Yeah, because I was the clown that was buying one of the two base games and then the third game every generation.
Oh no.
That was me.
Oh, I was also that clown. I supported the model.
I mean, yeah. I
had to catch them all.
I was.
Had to.
Right? It's like I didn't have friends to share with, so I had to get all of the games.
Yeah.
I had all the versions and 2 Game Boys. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, you had 2 Game Boys.
You had to because some people weren't playing it, and I'm like, okay, I need this Alakazam, so I need to move it over here and then move it back.
Yeah.
Good time.
The struggle.
I say that, but then I literally have 2 Switches and I have a copy of Pokemon Shield on each of them so that I can.
That's okay.
You really do. And you're about to get the DLC so you can stream content from the DLC. So you're going to get it 2 times.
I'm going to get 2 copies of the DLC. I'm going to do it. Listen, I need the sparkly bike.
It's fine.
I spent so much time on that bike. I need the sparkly one.
It's fine. It's valid.
Maybe. Okay. This is my thought process. Maybe the sparkly bike will help me get shinies faster because it's shiny.
Yes.
Right. That's a theory.
Moving on.
Just like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast with this fool. Like, oh boy.
We love to see it.
Well,
I'm really signed up to do a podcast with this absolute clown.
We're all fools and clowns on this podcast. That's the common thing that connects us all, to be honest. Back to Square Enix, Koga.
Enix, yes.
Keep going away from Square Enix every time.
You do.
Ouch. So I mean, we already talked about Life is Strange True Colors. They did say that they were releasing a remastered version, which is supposed to have I guess better animations or something along those lines. Coming out for I know at least PlayStation 5, Xboxes, and PC. So I'm interested in seeing how that may turn out, because I did kind of want to go back and play the original Life is Strange, just to see like because I play them and my decisions are basically just how I would actually handle them, not how the game I guess expects me to. And I did want to go back and say, okay, so when I made these same decisions, especially the one at the end of the game, not going to say what it is because some people may not have played it, but some people for the past 5-something years have been questioning my last decision.
Oh.
You already know what it is by me saying that, don't you?
Yes.
I sit in the dark, having not played the game.
I think I
didn't say it.
It honestly depends on how you feel about someone in that game, because I know for me it wasn't that much of a decision because I was like, oh yeah, sure. But for some people, they were like, I mean, I was kind of thinking and debating about it. But I was like, I think I'm gonna do this. And then, but I know there's like a friend of mine, like she played it and like she didn't even think about it. She was like, oh, this is happening. Yes, thank God.
Oh, I was there. I was like, oh, nope, done. Do it now.
I had to sit and think about it at first, but it was like there was just two reasons. And I was like, if I was in this situation in real life, how would I it's kind of hard because it's like I don't actually know, the people. So it's kind of like I had to go off of what I felt honestly was the best choice. Yeah. Not just for myself, but for everyone else. So I made the decision and people were looking at me like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, look, it was for the greater good.
Yeah. That's like, I think that it's the same debate with the ending of the first Last of Us, where there's like that whole thing, which I'm not going to also spoil, but it's essentially that theme of like, do you do this for the greater good or do you do this out of like selfishness kind of? And then you kind of have to debate that with yourself and like, what would I either do, or I just want to see how this turns out kind of thing. But it's a whole thing. I do love when games have those kind of like big decisions where you're like, oh God, I'm gonna have to think about this. This is gonna be a moment.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see Life is Strange, the new one. I was gonna say 3, but they're going away from that for some reason, and they're just calling it True Colors.
They might as well.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're like. I mean, it's a completely different character. They kind of might as well, I guess.
I thought it was interesting that one of the characters is basically like a side character from Before the Storm, and they're gonna like bring her to like the to the main story of True Color. So I wonder if that's like a thing that they want to do moving forward, where they're gonna like stop numbering them and just basically it's like just another reiteration of Life is Strange set in a different part of the world or in a different town or or whatever. I wonder if we're ever gonna get a game where it's like, I know this is gonna sound super silly, but almost like you get all the characters, like all the main characters from all the Life is Stranges, and for like a greater purpose, right? If there's like almost like the Avengers of Life is Strange, and you get like 3 or 4 different protagonists from all the different games, and you get all of them
the Avengers
to collectively solve these issues that are going on or some shit like that. I think that would be pretty iconic.
Love that.
I love that you said the Avengers of Life is Strange.
That's such a powerful phrase.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Of Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of a moment.
I mean, listen, Square Enix. Hi, hello.
That could be the 4th game. It could be like a crossover with all of them.
That could be cute. And like the 4th protagonist has to like find where the other 3 protagonists are in the world and ask them for help. That would be iconic. Ooh, what if like that 4th one has like almost like telepathy, so like they're able to communicate with them. Ooh, almost like Sense8, where they're like they share a brain.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, bitch, that would be so
yes.
good.
Yes,
so
I'm here
good.
for it. I'm here for it.
I would love that so much. Please.
Square Enix, run the check now.
Don't nod.
Run
please.
The check now.
Just, by the way, pay us for the idea, by the way. But also, I want to see it. I would like to see it. Just saying.
Mhm.
I'll settle for like
Yeah.
the ultimate collector's edition kind of thing. Just like give me that, and I'll be like, yay, I got it. I didn't have to pay like $200 for this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The remaster. It also comes with the Before the Storm as well, which I did play that one. I liked it, but when you have a game that does like time warping and all that, and then you have a prequel, quite a few plot holes.
Yeah.
Plot holes.
Yeah.
But it was still fun. It was still fun. I need to play the second one. I haven't played that one yet.
Me neither. I was surprised because I thought it came out like a long time ago, but it was like literally like last year. I was like, oh.
Wait, really? Was it last year?
I think that's when they finished it.
Yeah, I think that might have been like when the last episode came out or something like that. Because
Okay.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, because I forget they do the episodes.
Yeah, they did like an episode every other month or something like that. So I think the last episode ended up coming out in like last year, and I just thought it was like the whole thing came out in 2019 or something, and I was like, oh no, that was not a thing.
Yeah, I know episode 5 came out December of 2019, and I think there might have been some DLC. Wait,
Probably not.
I think that was something else. Mosaic bundle. I don't know what that is. That looks like some kind of mascot bundle. I don't know. So yeah, I think it ended like right at the end of 2019.
Oh, okay. Honestly, the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020 blends together in my brain.
A blur.
Yeah. To me, it's like, oh, it's the same year. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not CC saying cobbler. Not this.
I
Not this.
She's dropping hints that she wants a cobbler, and you know what? Who can blame her?
Honestly, delicious. I'll take one.
What is a cobbler? I'm foreign.
Like a peach cobbler. It's like a dessert.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pie bread with fruit.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. And so different people make them differently. So sometimes it's kind of like a pie without a crust at the bottom. And other people do one that has kind of like a fluffy bread dough kind of consistency with like fruit throughout it.
Is the fruit cooked? Or is it like added? Oh, okay. I may not enjoy that.
So it's usually not it's not cooked for usually like a super long time because it's like put in like with like butter and sugar and then the fruit and then the dough is typically it cooks relatively quickly. So it takes like 20 minutes. So most people use peaches, which are already kind of soft. So they don't really change consistency much, but you can use like different kinds of berries and stuff. So like blackberries, blueberries, all that kind of stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
Just culinary things.
Yes, we love a culinary moment.
Yes. Listen, it's fine.
You get a little bit of everything on that show. I mean, gaming news, cooked fruit discourse, you know.
We do say nerdy things, so it's like you can
you can be nerdy about anything.
Yeah, exactly. Spin, what do you want to talk about on this day?
I talked about Space Invaders.
Like just outside of Square Enix. Like
in general, honey.
Yeah. Like let's move on from Square Enix. We've talked enough
just
about
them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So I'm always talking about Final Fantasy 14.
Valid.
The new patch is coming next month, and I am just.
Is it next month? Oh, a patch. It's not the expansion. Yeah. Right?
Not in Walker. It's 5.5.
Okay. Oh, okay. What does that mean? Like I know the difference between a patch and an expansion, but like realistic, like what does this patch entail?
It's like they're gonna add more quests onto like the post Shadowbringers storyline.
Oh.
And there's gonna be like a bunch of other like there's a new like dungeon I think, new like mounts and stuff. I mean I could pull up like a whole list. Why don't I?
You're fine.
People
will look it up and tell us we're wrong. It's fine. Don't worry.
We love being told we're wrong.
Yeah. Interaction, engagement. Hello.
Engagement. How are you? Hi. How are you?
It's us having the same thought. It's the jean jackets, you know. We're just we just have our
Jean
brains. We're sharing the brain cell at this moment in time.
We surely are.
But yeah, I'm aiming to get caught up on the storyline before 5.5 comes out, and I think I can do it. I believe in myself.
I believe in you.
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Spin. Don't overdo it now.
Right. Right.
As he slinks away.
Right. Someone's physical therapist was like, "Have you been lifting weights?" And he was like, "No, just 14."
Just no with the fan. No. I
Yeah.
haven't been lifting weights.
Just hide behind the no fan. Like, I listen here.
What if instead of taking care of myself, I played more 14?
Not
Look,
that.
Spin, I support you, but I need you to take care of yourself.
Right.
Sir. Like, not this. Not here on this day. Not with this group of friends.
No. And then Spin
Maybe
is
somebody
like,
else
"Why
would say
are y'all
yes."
yelling at me because you want like I'll be fine." And we're like, "Because you will put Final Fantasy 14 over your health in like without thinking twice about it."
That's how good the game is.
Not that.
Anyway, it's coming out April 13th, and I'm on a mission to get caught up before then. And
He's gonna do it.
It's happening.
And I believe in him.
Yeah, we believe. You got this. It's gonna be great. We're just gonna keep
I don't know
an
how
eye
far
on
I am
you.
in Shadowbringers, but like I'm quite a bit away there. Like I've been updating all of our friends who play 14. They're like, "You're zooming." I'm like, "I'm zooming." So
He's got the zoomies, y'all. He's zooming.
I get the zoomies.
Not the zoomies.
I'm zooming through the Final Fantasy 14 content. So yeah, I believe in myself. I believe that I'm gonna get caught up before 5.5. It's happening.
That's
You got
exciting.
this.
That's exciting.
You got this. You still have a little bit until Endwalker comes out, so you
A
know.
few more weeks.
You got
Yeah,
it.
Endwalker doesn't come out until like we don't have a release date yet. But it's probably gonna be like later this year.
Yeah. Surely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It will be
Excited
fun.
for that.
That's
Well, that'll be
fun.
Yeah.
That's all my thoughts. Now I'm no thoughts, head empty.
That's completely valid. I'm still on Realm Reborn. I'm suffering from that issue where it's like, and I've noticed that a lot of people with me talking about the experience, some people have related to it, so it's not a me thing. I learned, but it's just one of those things where I'm not super motivated to like log in like every single day because the story kind of drags along a little bit in A Realm Reborn. So I just kind of like, go at it a little bit every once in a while, at least once a week for like a few hours, and I play it a little bit and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But I just like I like when exciting things happen, right? Like the first exciting thing in Realm Reborn, obviously without wanting to spoil anything, you basically interact with an Aeon / summon / primal, right? They call it primal, right? In 14.
Yeah.
So you basically like interact with those, and for me, I was like, ooh, fun. And so I'm excited for those, but those moments are very like I still haven't had a second moment like that where I've like fought another girly like that. So the story is definitely looking like it's gonna happen, but I'm like waiting. I'm like, please. I'm in a waiting room that is like filled with fetch quests.
Just clicking through all the text.
Right.
Because none of it matters. It might, but it's like you kind of like, oh god, okay, go.
Which is why it takes me so long. I just read it. I read the whole thing and I'm like, I don't understand why this makes like, why do I care? But I'm gonna keep reading it. It's gonna make sense someday, I'm sure.
Like,
one day I'll get it.
Right.
A Realm Reborn where it's just like, oh, why am I doing this? But like, I'm looking forward to I'm contemplating starting an alt on Crystal, because I'm on Aether Fairy on my main. So I'm contemplating starting an alt on Crystal, and going through the story again. And like I've noticed, like, because I've been watching our wonderful friend Yum Salad start 14 from the beginning, and I'm like noticing a lot of stuff that was like, oh, this becomes something bigger later, and I totally was not paying attention at that point.
You were like, why are they talking about this? I don't get it.
Right. So I'm looking forward to kind of starting the story again and like being like, oh, this was this thing. Okay.
Come on, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
We love good storytelling, right?
I love that.
But is it good? It's always that thing of like, is it good storytelling, or are they just like connecting the pieces at some point? They're like, oh, we have a lot of loose ends. Let me release a new thing and let me just get them all together. That's like the Kingdom Hearts thing. It's like, is
valid.
It,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right? Like, was it planned from the start, or are they just like adding layers and hoping that it's tying loose ends?
Have to go
no one will ever be. Well, that is like Square Enix's motto. Like, let's give you a story that makes no sense, try to tie it up, make it more confusing, and then you'll just accept whatever we tell you is the ending in the end.
Right. Yeah. Checks out for sure.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I feel like I might start that once I'm actually caught up.
Yeah.
And start going through that again.
That makes sense.
I think that'll be cute.
Like, if you, especially,
I really
if you
feel like I
try,
need to
like,
pick
a
this game
different
up.
class or anything. Like, it makes sense to like just let me do a different server and just play with different friends.
Join us in 14.
Join us.
I might. We'll see. I've been thinking about it, but I'm not gonna do it, girl.
Insert free trial. Hi.
Come
did you
in.
know there's
I
a free
did it.
trial? Like, that's how you, like, that meme of like, tell me you're a Final Fantasy 14 player without telling me you're a Final Fantasy 14 player. It's like, did you know there's a free trial? You could go up to level 60 and you can do all of these things. That's how you know. That's how you know.
Yeah, that's how you know. It might happen. Maybe this weekend.
Ooh. I love that we went
went
from
from no
I'm not going to
maybe.
do it to this weekend.
I might do it this weekend.
Right.
Who knows? I just, you'll know me. I like commit myself to like 5 million things, and they all get done.
Fair.
But she's a committer. She likes to commit.
But
Jet comes on next week, so I'm in Final Fantasy.
I've done 3 expansions already. I'm catching up to the new one. Getting ready for Endwalker. Let's go.
I love that.
But what do you want to talk about?
You're not
JM?
wrong. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of schoolwork.
That's valid.
And like we had elections for like things at school this week. So like the Graduate Student Association had elections this week, and so like I ran for a position because I have so much time on my hands. Obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was told by some of our other mutual friends that it's like, Jam, you keep committing to. I said I'm giving up other things to do this. I said this thing is important. So we need a vice president of equity and inclusion, and I feel like I would be good for that position.
I mean, hello.
Absolutely.
No, but that I've been playing Hitman. I've been doing a lot of other things. A paper that I've been like working on with the lab that I worked with before I started grad school like years ago finally got published, so that was good.
Yes.
So that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Fun. What about you, Koga? What do you want to talk about?
Well, you already know.
Maybe so.
So after
We love to
like,
see
I don't
it.
know, 3 months or so, EA Play finally came to Xbox Game Pass on PC. No extra charge. So it's still $10 for the regular and $15 for Ultimate. It was about $60 games added to it, and that was also on top of like the other Bethesda games that got added to Game Pass, and it's all for like the same price. And it's, I don't know, it's a ridiculously good deal. The downside, if you're one of the people who don't like this, is you do have to download EA's app program on your computer. So it's like if you open it from the Xbox app, then it just opens up this other app to start it. It's that kind of thing.
Is it
So,
Origin or is it a different one?
Yeah.
see, it's strange. They call it EA Play, but it's like Origin still exists, and I don't understand this because when I go to EA Play, I can see games that are there that are a part of the thing, but I don't see Crisis 3, which is not on there, which is a game I own. But if I go to like Origin, it's there. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to like fix it. It says beta, so I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Mm.
yeah. But at least I didn't
So-
have to pay. Hey, 44.
Yeah, I just wonder. So is this like because yeah, so it's been on like I know that it's been on like general Xbox Game Pass on the console for like a while now, which was kind of when it first happened, I was like, this is kind of awesome. Like,
Right.
so like is Microsoft going around trying to create a like game streaming service monopoly? Because like
It is.
It kinda seems like that.
It is kind of looking like that.
it's quickly going that way because they own Bethesda now, right? And then getting EA Play to which I guess you can still do it separately. You can still pay for a separate service, but
Right.
like if you have Game Pass, it being included in your $14.99 a month,
Right.
like that's kind of crazy.
It is a great deal right now.
It is, but it's kind of scary because it's like, what if they just do that and just? I mean, I don't like it when a company has a monopoly over everything because
Right.
they will get comfortable. I mean, Microsoft got comfortable, Sony got comfortable, so I would like there to be, still some type of competition. Though it's just that if they buy companies, it works more in my favor and goes more of what I want the industry to go to. So I don't know.
Yeah, I want the industry to do this, like streaming of games, like streaming, but like
Don't get
games
rid of
as a
like,
service.
physical copies. Get rid of like physical
Yeah.
or digital copies and just go that route because then eventually you know they're going to do that, and that's when it's going to get to a point where it's like they have complete control, and I wouldn't like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a while until they get rid of physical copies because new gen still has a CD drive, which is optional, but they still
Mm.
do have those. But I think it's interesting because everyone is kind of doing their own thing. Like Sony has no intention of like competing. They're doing like PS Plus, and for them it's like that's it. That's all we need. And I wonder
Right.
if they're just like gonna invest more on PS Now and just compete against like Stadia and the new one from Amazon and stuff like that, which they could have a chance if they do make it like all the games downloadable, which some of them aren't, unfortunately. So if they do that, that's going to be way better for people who don't have the best connections. Because I do think that it's also like a great option. Like a friend of mine, Cypher of Tier, was actually streaming the Amazon. I forget the name of it, but she was sponsored by them. I have no.
I think it's Lua.
Yeah, Luna. Yeah.
Luna.
I think it's
Luna.
Amazon Luna, yeah. And she was streaming it, and she said, and she was like, "Oh, this is so much better on my computer because I don't have to actually run it from my computer. There's another computer out there in the world running it." And she was playing, oh my god, what was the name of the game? It's like a strategy shooter one. Oh my god, why can I not remember the name of it right now off the top? Tom Clancy.
Oh yeah,
Hi.
okay, like Rainbow Six Siege or something like that.
Yeah, something of the sort. Yeah, where it's like a team thing. It's a strategy. People have to like go into places and all that. And I thought that was really interesting because sometimes when you think of streaming, like cloud services, streaming games, you think like, oh, that's gonna be good for like maybe like a turn-based RPG or like a game that doesn't require a lot of precision. But even like with the Cyberpunk fiasco, like even like Stadia, people were saying that it ran better on Stadia than it did on like their consoles or anything of the sort. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting to me how that's becoming more of a viable thing. Even like xCloud, people are saying like,
Yeah.
oh, it's really good. Like it's surprisingly good what they're doing. So I'm not super concerned about monopoly as much as I'm kind of curious about what's happening, because Nintendo is in their own planet. Sony looks like they're also in their own planet. It's almost like we got rid of this thing where there's direct competition anymore. It's just like everyone is just on their own planet doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And it's weird seeing what happens with like third parties. Like Square Enix is doing a lot of stuff with Nintendo, but also they have a lot of stuff. Like they just added Octopath Traveler, they added a Nier Automata on Game Pass, so they seem to have like a healthy relationship with literally everyone. So it's very interesting to see like what is actually happening here. I think it's, at the end of the day, it's good for indies to get discovered by all of these services, because they can easily get added on PlayStation Plus, on Game Pass, or even get like exclusivity deals for Nintendo. So I think all of those are good. It's just very interesting and weird, like everything going on, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be good though, because I think the one thing about each of them kind of choosing their own kind of path with this is that they all are going to get a certain group of people, which they already kind of had, right? Like Xbox kind of had its core group of people, and like they tried to expand it, which they did with the Xbox 360, and then that kind of failed after.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Although it does, the buying of studios is the part that is kind of concerning, as far as like, is Xbox moving forward gonna have a lot of exclusives of their own?
Yeah.
Because like for now they're like, we have pending deals that we're gonna follow through with, don't worry. But it's like, after those deals though, what is
after those deals, they'll more than likely do a few exclusives here and there. I mean, they more so just wanted to get it on Game Pass so that people have another reason to get that.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see them being like, for future games, they might. But at the same time, it really comes down to, I don't know, maybe the higher ups and how they feel about how much it'll actually make. Because the thing is, if something like the next Elder Scrolls or something like that comes out, I can see that still coming to PlayStation because it's going to sell on there.
Yeah.
And they want to make money. So they're going to put it on Game Pass, probably put it on PlayStation. I don't know about maybe Switch. It depends. I know Switch is kind of like not as strong of a platform, and the thing is, it kind of needs to upgrade, because like now they're making, like Xbox, the next gen consoles, which is Series X and PlayStation 5. I mean, they were barely able to put last gen stuff on the Switch. So either that, or they may do more of that streaming service they were doing for Switch, where you just stream the game instead of them putting it on there. I don't know.
Who knows? Especially like even with the new one, we don't have any specs on it. It's like, we don't know how the new Switch is even gonna compare. Like, is it even gonna be comparable with like new stuff? Like, I doubt it, because I think they're gonna want to make it compatible, at least at first, so that you can get games on both Switches. I know at some point they're gonna make exclusives for the new Switch, which is gonna be a whole thing. That I'm not particularly excited about. As long as it's fully backwards compatible and it has some sort of like smart compatibility kind of situation, then I'll be happy with it. But Nintendo always scares me, because they're always a little bit behind as far as like what their services. Like the games have always been good. Like there's always that thing like with this seal of approval and all. But their services do concern me. Like, what are we doing? What's going on? But we'll see. We'll see. We kind of touched on what we're playing. Sorry, Spin, you're gonna say something, right?
I really don't want to have to buy a third Switch. I already have two.
Right. Yeah. Nintendo knows whatever they do. They know how to get people to buy their shit. Truly. We talk about this every week. Like, they get ya.
It's the exclusivity. Like, that's the thing. It's like the fact that you're only ever gonna get Mario and you're only ever gonna get Zelda on a Switch. You're not gonna get it anywhere else, right? So, or on a Nintendo product, and that's the thing that's why they can lag behind on a lot of things, because at the end of the day, when the next big Mario comes out, I can only play it here,
Right.
And that's what, and that's why PlayStation has been able to be successful with things like, as much as I wasn't the biggest fan of Last of Us 2, that's the thing that like people were like, well, I want this game, right? And I want Spider-Man and I want this, and they're exclusive to that console. So they're like, well, I can play it there, so I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to get you. They know how to do it.
Yeah, we did kind of already talk about what we're
A little bit, yeah, a little
Sorry,
bit.
clowning, per usual.
No clowning, only gaming things. No, but let us get formally and officially into what we're playing. What did I play? I think I was gonna play something and then I didn't. I think it was the Outriders thing. I was like, yeah, let me download that demo, and then I forgot about it completely. So that was a thing. I'm excited. By the time some of y'all are listening and watching this, it already happened. But later today, as we're recording, I'm actually gonna be trying out season 4 of Fall Guys with Spin and 2 friends of the show, Ruin Crown and I Geeked Out. So we're gonna do like a co-stream. We're gonna all play. It's gonna be so chaotic and so fun. I'm so excited to try the new season. I haven't read or even played it or anything, so it's gonna be initial reactions all around. It's gonna be super fun. But yeah, other than that, I guess I could give a little Animal Crossing update, what I've been up to. So over the last week, my island has officially a campsite, so I can get visitors coming in. I was forced to accept a visitor whose name I can't remember right now, but I wasn't super fond of. And I had to say hi and accept him and invite him for the tutorial's sake. And so I did it. It's going to be fine. I think you said his name, Spin, but it cut out.
It's Keaton.
Keaton, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I had to.
It's okay. You can get rid of him.
Yeah, I will. Teehee. But other than that, I just adore all of the little friends. I have Stu, I have Norma, I have Flora. Like, what a combo. Like, I was doing like...
You have Flora?
Yeah, I was doing like villager hunts on stream for the first... Like, as I wanted my first stream... Like, the first few new villagers to like react to them on stream and all that. So I did that. And so I got those 3 back to back, and I was like, I don't want to say no to any of them. Like, I know this is going to be super uneventful as like a, villager hunt, but I literally got the first 3 that I got, and I was like, yeah, please give them to me. And I love them so much. I put Flora in a little Princess Peach outfit, and she wears it every once in a while, and she's so iconic. I love her. I love all of my friends except Keaton, but maybe he'll grow on me.
That's true. He might grow on you.
Maybe not, but
maybe not.
Maybe I'll replace him with Pietro, and that's what we deserve. I do want Pietro, and I do. Another friend of the podcast, Pants Trebien, she offered, because she wants to get rid of him for some godforsaken reason, but she wants to get rid of him, and so I'm like, hello, yes, hi, I want him.
I will accept a Pietro.
Right? I know that the new update came out. Have y'all gotten a chance to try it out?
I haven't gotten on this week, so I haven't tried it.
I know that I was talking about this a little bit on my stream last night, but like the Sanrio amiibo cards, I don't know what the situation's going to be with those, because they're like Target exclusive. You can only get them, like, you can't pre-order them. I don't know if you can even like get them online, or if I'm going to have to like venture out into the wilds and try to find them. Like, and I don't want to do that, because we're in a global panini and I don't need the Sanrio cards that bad.
Right. You're like,
global
do I need to
panini.
go out for a game? Like,
right. But I do really want the Sanrio cards to get all the cute items.
I learned something about that is going to be wild, and I didn't know this. So I was watching Toph play it, and he revealed that those cards actually came out like 4 years ago or something like that, or like a long ass time ago in Japan and Europe only. And they're like, now they're like, it's a new thing, like rebrand. Hi, here's a new thing, and it's like, and he's like, I have all of them. He's like, that was a thing like a long ass time ago. And I was like, excuse me, hello. This has been a thing this whole time, and I'm in Europe. I should have known, but I also never really paid attention to Animal Crossing because I didn't have any Nintendo things before the Switch, so I was like, I don't know. But my brain exploded. I was like, excuse me, hello.
Nintendo pulling the wool over our eyes again, per usual. They said, "Here's the same old thing for a higher price," and we said, "Yes, give it to me."
Give it to me
I'm really
now.
nervous that like scalpers are just gonna get all of them, and then I'm gonna like see it on eBay for like $60 for like 6 cards, and I just don't want that in my life.
No, absolutely not. I don't know why they didn't do pre-orders, because then you would have known how many to print or something.
Yeah, they did pre-orders everywhere else in the world, but not in the US.
Well,
shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well.
And the pre-orders all sold out like instantly. So I feel like it's gonna be really hard to get a hold of those, but maybe I'll be lucky.
Yeah.
Y'all know next week if I show up like with a black eye, I'm like, I got the cards.
Not a black eye.
Oh, no.
No, sir.
There should be no black eyes.
I got the cards.
Yeah, the drama.
Yeah.
Well. Well, we'll see.
Oh my God.
If Spin mysteriously can't make it to the next episode, we'll let you know what happened. But that's basically it with like my Animal Crossing. I'm still a baby, so I'm still like getting stuff. Isabel just joined the island, so it's very exciting to see her. I fully took like so many photos of her because she was like spraying this like little vase that she has, and she was just like spraying it and smelling the flowers, and I was just like observing that and just like taking a bunch of photos. I was like, what a fucking icon.
I love her so much.
I love her. Also, another thing that I learned, her name is related to the fact that her hair looks like a bell, and so it is a bell. She is a bell. Look at that. I was like, oh my god, my brain. Listen, it's fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's totally fine. Other than, oh yeah, I'm also working slowly but surely to try to get a KK to join, to like show up and say hi, do a little show. I've been collecting his music every once in a while and playing them around, the island, around my house, just enjoying that KK bubblegum, KK disco moment.
KK bubblegum is a moment.
Yes. I love KK Disco. KK Disco, I had that as a portrait in my house, like right next to my bed, as if I was like worshiping him, because I didn't have like a player for it. But the second I could play it, like every single thing that I could play it on, I was playing KK Disco.
KK Disco is queer culture, honestly.
Truly.
It really is. What a moment. Yeah, what are y'all playing other than, Animal Crossing and all that? Anything that we haven't touched on yet?
Coco, what are you playing? Because I don't think you talked about it.
So I've still been playing Sound of Voltex past week. I think I'm through maybe like half of the base song list, but there's still like a bunch of song packs, and then there's where you use the tickets. There's still like 1,070 something songs on there. So, oh my god, yeah, it's been a lot. The game the series has been out for like almost 10 years, so it's pretty much them adding a bunch of it into like the PC version, and then a new one just came out in Japan like last month as well. I've of course been playing Dokkan. they had having a celebration for Saiyan's Day that was this past Thursday. The celebration is all right. They're doing it both with Global and JP. The banner sucks.
Oh,
And I summoned on it because I needed 20 more red coins so I can get something else. But that was it. The banner's not that great. But that was about it. And then did I play something else? Yeah. Oh, I did play a little bit of Need for Speed Heat because I wanted to see how EA Play was going to be working with Game Pass, and I played it before, so I was just testing that out. But besides that, that's pretty much all I've been playing this past week.
Fun. So let's say goodbye to our friends and promote ourselves so that they know what's going on and what we're doing outside of Just Gaming Tings. Again, we just got affiliated on Twitch, which is really exciting.
Yes.
So if you would like to support the show and you would like to support the channel so we can, do some upgrades and change it around, do some great stuff.
Change it around.
Absolutely. You can subscribe to us. You can give us little biddies. You can do all of that fun stuff because we're officially affiliates on Twitch. So thank you all so much for that support over on the Twitch page. We do intend on streaming more often on it rather than the podcasts, but we're just busy. There's only so many of us.
Ruby, did you want to talk about our potential idea?
Oh, we had a great idea. So Spin recently got the physical edition of Hades, and he gifted me the digital edition of Hades for a Christmas present. So we were thinking, and by we I mean Spin thought about it, of us doing a stream together and us basically doing back and forth of doing each of us doing a run, and then when the person dies we switch to the other person and we kind of switch perspectives and stuff like that. So that's coming up soon. TM. I know that there's an unboxing coming soon, so that's gonna be exciting for the Hades.
I will be filming the unboxing of this.
Yes.
This weekend, it'll probably be up on our YouTube channel early next week, Monday, Tuesday-ish.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. TM. Follow our
Right. You just have to look up Just Gaming Tings on YouTube because we don't have a custom URL. So please do subscribe to us on there when you do find us, because we do want that custom URL, please.
That's our next
right?
Now that we're affiliate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, next goal.
We're just gonna keep yelling at you every week until you do it. So it's gonna be great.
Do it, please.
If you're tired of hearing us talk about the YouTube channel and the custom URL shenanigans, then subscribe
go
to
subscribe.
it. Tell a friend. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are ya?
Based on the power of everyone's moms. So I believe in the mom power, we trust in the mom power to get us the custom URL.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. Spreading the queer agenda with the help of mom power. Listen, we're on to something.
I love that.
True.
Spin, other than the Hades shenanigans on the Just Gaming Tings channels, what are you up to? What's going on? Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter and TikTok at SpinBlend. And I'm coming back to TikTok, I promise. Just after the launch from the shop, I was just so burnt out on making TikToks because I made a bunch of them back to back.
Valid. Which, by the way, you just got a new URL for it.
Did. You can now find my shop. All the old links still work. The Etsy store is still there. But you can just go to spinsoapcafe.com to find all the soaps now. And I have my own site on there. And so you can still go to the Etsy shop. All the old links will still work, but if you can't remember the exact URL, just spinsoapcafe.com. That's easier.
Yeah. And what about your streaming? What are you up to on your streams?
I'm streaming. I've been doing a lot of shiny hunting. I've been doing a lot of makeup and shiny hunting. I know I was planning on doing more Final Fantasy 13 on Friday, but I was like, y'all, are you all cool if I just do some more shiny hunting? Because I really the mood for shiny hunting.
Like, what if I just don't?
Just shiny.
And you did get a shiny
Yeah,
recently.
I did. I got my shiny alchemy. It's so cute.
Oh.
It's my little charcoal ice cream baby, and now we're looking for shiny Delmise. So yeah, that's what I've got going on my stream.
Fun.
What about you, Ruby? We'll kind of.
Oh, I've been up to some shenanigans. Weekly podcast breakfast at Ruby's. I actually just uploaded a clip from it on my TikTok, and actually Twitter, I think, where there was a little bit of a controversial opinion moment about a series that is very beloved. So I'll leave that as a little cliffhanger for people to check out the episode or the clip if you're if you don't have like an hour and a half to spare. I get it. Just check out the clip. Follow me on Twitter, Project Ruby, TikTok, The Project Ruby. As far as streaming, I've been up to the same stuff of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Majora's Mask, and Tomb Raider 3. God knows when I'm finishing either of those. I'm thinking Final Fantasy VII Remake we're closest to, but I still have some side quests and stuff. But I'm actually taking a week off from streaming again. I'm still going to be active on socials. I'm still going to be doing all that. But I just need some time to like not stream and take care of other priorities and do other things for a little bit, and then come back more refreshed, hopefully more organized. That would be the goal for this break, to just be more organized and like manage everything, which is easier than it is. It's harder than it looks. It looks easier than people would expect, like running 2 podcasts and streaming 3 times a week. And then trying to make content out for social media and stuff. So, trying my best. Just trying my best. But yeah, what about you, Koga? Where can people find you? All of that fun stuff.
You can find me here and on Twitter at Koga_Jangles. So I have been streaming Sound Voltex. I did twice this past week. I was kind of busy later on in the week, so I'll probably be doing that again either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure about tomorrow morning. Depending on how I feel, I may be bringing something back. Something Sundays.
Ooh.
But we'll see, because I normally don't get up early, so we'll see.
Valid. Absolutely.
And how about you, Jam?
Well, let's see. You can find me everywhere at jam_5899. Streaming. What is that? She doesn't do it because she does too many things, and she can't seem to get her priorities straight.
I think you have your priorities straight.
And well, I keep saying I'm coming back and then don't get back. I'm like, today's the day. I'm gonna do it. I set up my computer and then I'm like, I'm tired.
Right.
It be like that sometimes.
But I've been doing that. Been doing a lot of work. I've been teaching my new student how to do things in lab. That's been a lot of fun. I love teaching, so it's been really cool.
Yeah.
And then just playing video games, playing a little DVD, playing a little Hitman. I started playing Prey. That's been fun.
Ooh.
Which has been interesting. Yeah, that's about it.
Do it. Follow all of us now. What are you
Yes,
doing?
follow us. What are you doing if you're not? And then I'm watching TikToks. That's the other thing I'm doing constantly.
Oh,
Watching TikToks.
absolutely.
Can't stop.
TikTok is such a time, like, oof. It just drains like an hour and you're like, hello?
You know what the worst part of it all is, though, is that like I had, and this is gonna make me sound like one of those people that's like, I was on it before people were on it, but I had a TikTok when it was Musically before the company TikTok bought it.
Oh, I forgot that was
right. And so never used it then. It was when people did those weird like moving around things where it was like, I'm gonna act out the song, and like never really used it. And then I remember seeing TikTok and I was like, this just seems like Musically. Went to download the app and then like went to log in and it was like, you already have an account. And I was like, do I? And it was that. And I was like, oh, got it. Got it.
Journey.
A journey.
You just like, you take a peek. You're like, what's going on TikTok? And then next thing you know,
That's 2 hours.
It's been 2 days and you're still in the same position.
and you're like, oh wow, I need to shower.
Oh wow.
Yeah, TikTok is figuring out that I'm a redacted and that I'm a gamer, and it's so the things that
Kind
happen.
of spooky.
The things that happen on there sometimes are like, why? So I'm just like, I'm trying to just like, if I see something that is even remotely uninteresting to me, I just try to like skip it as quickly as I can. Like, let me not give this any more seconds of watch time, because then they'll think I want to see this. So yeah, but it's a whole thing. I do have fun every once in a while uploading stuff. I've only uploaded 3 times. It's fine, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
You're doing amazing.
Thanks. But yes, everybody, we'll be back next week with a new episode of the podcast. And you can expect all of us to do stuff on our own accounts and stuff. So please do follow those. Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. Stay safe and have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.